Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Aaron Plays, and this will be the September the 18th PM turn, 1944, of my playthrough of Airborne to Victory by GMT Games, Operation Market Garden. Of course, a lot of little title things to remember there, but there we go. We did the 18 AM turn, and now we're on to the 18 PM turn. So yeah. Events from the last turn, we've had some assaults going in on Eindhoven. We've had some British airborne reinforcements and the Germans starting to amass up on the bridgehead in and around Arnhem itself. So, if you could do the YouTube stuff, yeah, I've got to do the housekeeping. If you could, like to the video, it all helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already and you enjoy what I do. And if you haven't subscribed and you enjoy what I do, why haven't you? And then hit the little ding-a-ling. It'll let you know that I'm downloading another video. And then finally, any comments, much appreciated and will be responded to and answered and so on. They all help the channel. They all spread my corrupting influence out there on the great wide web. Moving on, let's go down the map and see what's going on. Okay, so I've done some housekeeping stuff, supply determination for both sides. Most of the units are supply. I just realized when I was doing that, this unit is out of supply. Okay, I thought it would be as long as he could trace a road back all the way, but it's not. It's along his, it's from the highway. And the highway, as far as they control, ends there because this bugger is part of the highway and he's in the way. So this guy's only got 6, so it's 1, 2, 3, up to here, and then he gets, he's out of supply. So there we go. And the only other real units that are out of supply are the British Airborne, still loitering with intent around the Arnhem Bridge. So that's supply determination done. I've removed all the first fire and final markers and allocated air points. So the British, or the Allies, have got 25 again, and the Germans have got their 5. Okay, so we're into the German movement phase. So we've got to check for German reinforcements. Okay, so the Germans are getting a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units coming in the board. The majority of them are up here. Now, I could deploy them anywhere from A2701, which is around about here, all the way up to B2501, so all the way up to here. Well, I think if I reinforce, this is a lost cause now. I mean, it's going to still slow them up a bit, but it's a lost cause. I don't think putting them into this triangle here is going to really help the situation. This area, though, slow down here, fair enough. But reinforcing, as I'm deciding around here, this situation, this bridge is becoming vitally important. It's being held by not such good troops, but the Airborne can't really mount an offensive against it because of the limitation of their supply from the DZ. I mean, they could go in without supply. That's not a good idea. And then there was a couple of units down the bottom of the map here as well. So, yeah, the Germans will reinforce this situation, which seems like a good plan. Okay, that's the reinforcements. So we go into now the movement phase. Let's start over here. He can't move, so done. Right. Okay. Now, is this actually achieving anything holding this position here? No, not really. So let's pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, We can protect the artillery, or we can shoot carry on. Which is more important? That artillery unit is artillery. Artillery is always good, so he will protect that. Okay. Over into Vagel itself. All helps the defense. That's that done there. Right. Okay. So what are we doing here? So at the moment, we've got a mechanized unit in there with decent. The garrison is bringing down the overall efficiency of the hex, but the garrison is there for a job. So he did his job. Well done. All right, I'm going to bring this down to protect the ferry. The unit that was on there moves into there, and this guy, 1, 2. I don't know if you can assault with the ferry. I mean, we know that rubber boats were used in the assault in places, so maybe. Right, so now we've got to sort of think about, okay, we're defending this side from the airborne. We've now got to think, well, 30th Corps are going to be screaming at some point down this way. So we've got to make a line of defense in and around the road and Udin. And that's the plan. All right. So
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
she's got to have a say, hasn't she? 1, 2, 3. Can't quite get into Udin that way. 2, 3, 4. Either way, can't get into Udin this turn. So we'll stay there. With artillery's only got a range of 2, so we'll put it there to defend. 30th Corps ain't going to get there in the 19 AM turn, so they've got plenty of time to build that up. Right, so starting in there, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring in the artillery, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in that hex. As they come trundling down there, the tanks will get in further. It's 4, 5, 6. Okay. All assets to slow down the advance there. This looks all okay. Right, what to do down here? We're not causing any problems for the Allies other than they've got to keep units there to protect the DC. So let's not have ourselves totally exposed. There we go. They're there, keeping the Allies honest. Right. Yeah, just checking there to make sure I was recording on the right screen. Don't want to repeat that. Okay, so we've now got another unit coming across here. Now his job actually is to get over to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that this guy can come across here. I think it's worth sending another one across, don't you? 1, 2, 3, 4. That ferry's definitely getting utilized a lot. And then bringing the artillery up. 1, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. Okay, so I'm marking him with first fire because he moved. The other artillery. Right, okay, so what are we going to do here? I think it's still worth keep bombarding. We don't really have enough strength yet. Is it worthwhile doing any other attacks? Okay, so we've got an infantry unit. That's quite a strong one. So if we move him, to there. So that's one along the road into the woods is another 3, so that's 4. Okay. Let's move the assault gun as well, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So as a control, do not extend into the town. So but into the woods. So if he moves into there, 3, 4. It's got 8. These are recon unit. So it'll be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't really get involved in anything there. So let's just move these up a little creep. All right, and that means we can then go 1, 2. He can then come in there. Move some tanks, so no zone control there. The aim is to get as, if we can, an attack going in on this dude. Move the tank. They've all moved, that's fine. Yeah, that's everything that we want to move there, done. Over here, well, we're not threatening there at the present moment, are we? Not really got the strength to do so. 1. Actually, 1. Let's just get away from the Allies. I don't think they... I know we're surrendering that woods to them, but I don't want to lose a unit. Okay. That's German movement. Yeah. Okay. Combat declaration. Is it worth attacking this guy at all? We got armor. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to focus on this area of the board first and then move to the others. There's not much German attacks elsewhere. So let's... All right, mark the combats because it's all got to be declared. We're going to have that hex, and attacking there. All depends on how much firepower the Allies want to put into defending. Is it going to be maneuver combat, or do we assault there? You know what? Actually, let's do an assault. Be nice to occupy the hex. So let's get rid of those. Okay. I'm declaring it an assault. There you go. Because then we go into bombardment phase. So again, we want now to keep hitting the bridge here. So we're going to fire. There's no flip marker, is there? So he now final fires. So that's 5. 10. Ideally, we want as much as we can there because we've got to try and flip the counter. 10. He's a first firing. 16. Not got final fire there. No, that's only first fire. He didn't move. That's 16. Now the columns go 13 to 17, 18 to 24. If we add another 16, there we go. All right, then let's add that in there to make that 24 and 1 air. Okay. To make that 25 column. It's as big as it gets, as the actress said to the bishop. Okay, low is good. 8. Not great. 8 becomes a 2. That's not good enough. Defensive terrain of that is 4. Now, if they'd rolled 5 or lower, that would have caused a step loss. Okay. All right. So then we go, there's no maneuver combat on this map. We're going straight into assault. We're going to take that plus that armor and that infantry. Just make sure we're not stacking, overstacking 3, 6, 7. Actually, no, that's probably the best. Okay, so they're going into an assault. Yeah. Right. So in assault combat, defender allocates air and or artillery and resolves defensive bombardment. So defensive bombardment. Let's throw some air points at this. We've still got the Allies' turn though, haven't we, to go? They've got 25. Let's throw 3. That takes it down to 22. Okay. Low is good, remember? 1. It's the best as it gets. That is 3. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Okay, the unit being attacked by the artillery are always classed as if they're in defense terrain of 2. So with a 3, that's a 1-step loss on one of these Axis units coming in. No, that you can't take it on the armor because we're already taken a step loss. So this infantry, oh, blimey, it's good infantry though, isn't it? I don't know which one to take it on. Okay, there we go. All right, then this guy gets to defensive fire himself. Okay, as the assault comes in. Now, there's no actual modifiers there for on the dice other than himself, which is 5. So he needs low 5. Let's say there is no modifier, so that's a miss. All right, the Germans attacking with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now they're attacking a wood hex, which is +2. But they have armor and infantry. The attacker is armor and infantry. So -2. So it's +2 for the woods, -2 for the armor and infantry. And that's it. So it's a straight roll. Low is good. 4. On how many did I say? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Therefore, it's 1 step loss. So he's now flipped. Okay. So German's best unit, morale now is 6. They want to continue. And, well, he wants another strike. So we basically rolled both dice, see if they get to fight. Efficiency ratings. The Germans don't on a 0. They needed 6 or less. The Allies do. So they get another shot. This time they're only on 3. Roll a 5. That's a miss. Okay. Germans didn't take the hex. They fall back whence they came. Can't remember who came from where. I think that was it. It doesn't have to be. I don't think it has to be exact. Actually, they just retreat back to the hexes they came from. All right. So didn't really work. Artillery didn't do anything, and such. So let's move. Is there any other German attacks? Don't think there is. No, they're all moving along the front. Okay, that's the German combat phase done. Make phase. Okay, so we'll move him into there. Any other mech? I think this is all infantry. Yeah. Most of the German mech is obviously in and around. All right, so he gets across. He goes in to relieve him. He can now move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which means he can now move to there and occupy that hex. Right. Okay, so what's actually now going to happen here? If you're in a zone of control, that's a good point. Did a zone of control exist from there to there? No, because it's into an urban hex. No zone of control. Okay. Into an urban hex. So he's not in a zone control. Neither is he. But so we could move him to there. I don't think there's any real need for them to move any further. So got him across. I think that's the German mech phase done. Woo. Okay. Here's no right. So it's now the Allied initial phase. Let's just flip that over. It's now the Allied turn. Boom. Okay. They get any reinforcements this turn. So this is the September 18th PM. Oh, they are. They're getting one armored unit right across over here, coming along the road. And it's the Allied. There he goes. A107. That's it. That's all they're getting. Right. Well, it's better than nothing, isn't it? So, yeah. Just no air assaults. Supply determination. I don't think that's really changed. No. Because nothing really changed on the board, has it? So, okay. Into the Allied movement phase. Right. So, this is the conundrum. What do we do here? Okay, we are going to hit it again. And now we can actually bomb. We've still got quite a lot of air and so forth. So I think we should be able to take out Eindhoven. It's a question of what we move onwards. Because we've got to now think about this hex. So, all right. Well, let's move these guys onwards. At least the armor anyway. So it's 1, 2. I should have put a bridge repair marker on there so that bridge can't be blown. 3. 4, 5, 6. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am making an assumption here, aren't I? That place will be taken. So they'll move in. They'll move there. In fact, they'll all move in and join the combat. There will be a systematic assault, and we might as well join in that. Get any more airborne artilleries there? Really? Okay. This artillery is all in range. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, that's all going to be popping off there. Okay, this unsupplied unit, I think, needs to come back to be in supply. Yeah, I just realised if this tank comes down here, all right, once we've got the supply route, he can't trace supply across these hexes. So is he going to really help being on this side of the river? Because he will be the canal, because he will be unsupplied. Okay, well, let's see what happens with this. He moves into there. We'll determine if that bridge gets blown or not. Is there a little German dude? No. So that bridge is fine. So I'm going to put a little one of those on it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, they go in and supply, they go in and supply, don't they? So that's 1, 2, 3. Is it worth attacking these guys? So artillery is the precious part, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. This unsupplied guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Only has half movement rate. Out of supply. Okay. There's no point attacking across there at the present moment. We need some engineers to make bridges and such forth. Right. Okay, so that's all fine there. Artillery's fine. They're going to all fire. Oh, the new dude. Okay. Half, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Right. There's not much we can do here at present, other than can't get across. Keep our beadies on them. Keep them innocent. It takes, quite a bit of the firepower. Right, the artillery. There's no point in being there. It's not doing anything. So that's 2. No, it's not. It's 1, 2, 2.5, 3. So he should be marked with the first fire. Marker. There we go. There, that's better. 1, 2, 3 into there to help. So what's the stacking? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's fine. That's That's allowed. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do here now. Definitely still got to secure that perimeter. Okay. Yeah. Keep a unit on the DZ. Just in case. Right. Now, this wasn't too nice, was it? So we're going to stick center control to center control. I think we've got a guard there and there. Okay. I'm going to swap the engineers for these good guys. There. Right. Okay. That's the movement phase. Combat declaration. Well, there's none here. There's no actually combat, but there might be some artillery bombardment there. 12 to 7. Is that really worth attacking? Yeah, why not? Yeah, that's. We'd like to take the artillery out, so we're going to make that. And we're going to make it a. Let's make it assault. Let's go in there with fisticuffs. Right. No attacks there. Okay, so everything happening in around here. So there will be units going in. We've got armor and infantry. So I'm going to mark the ones that are going to be going in as an assault. So we're going to use multiple hexes. Seems the way to go, doesn't it? So if we assault with that armor, that's from one hex. Assault with that infantry. So that's 2. And does the armor and infantry resolved? We can only send 6 stacking points. That's 6. So only 2 more. That's the tricky one. Is the little 2. Everything's 3. Okay. Oh, that's then again, that's only now 2 hexes, isn't it? I can't see anti-tank guns going in on an assault. I'm sorry. No, I don't see that. So this is only going to be the 2 units then. Okay. So it can only come from 2 hexes. We could risk the engineers, but as soon as we send the engineers, they become the first target. So this guy is not going to be involved in the combat. So the maneuver combats everybody else. So we start off with the artillery bombardment. So these 3 are going to first fire. So that's 24. And we'll chuck 1 at air. That takes the air from 22 to 21. That takes the maximum bombardment we can give to that hex. And that's the 25 plus. Low is good. 5. That's 4. So one of these units gets reduced because it depends where the hex is for. So let's flip him. Okay. Any other bombardment that we would like to do? Tell you what, we've got the air power. Let's bombard that hex with, there's no actual artillery in the range, but there is air. 21. It's in mixed ground, which is not the best defense. So we'll throw 7 at it. 21 drops it to 14. That's a 9, which is a miss. There you go. Ooh. All right. Any other bombardment we'd like to do? Well, there you go. I'm going to focus on this area first and then work out if there's any other. Right. So now the actual maneuver combat comes into effect. Okay. So we've got, let me work this out off screen. Okay, so that'll take a little bit of working all out these numbers. We've got to add all the combat factors. There's 76 Allied combat factors to not very many German. I think it's only 5. So we know that is the maximum odds, 6 to 1. Okay. Then you have to work out the efficiency. So the average efficiency, you add all the efficiencies up for your side and then divide it by the amount of units. And the Allies come out at 6.2. The Germans come out at 6. So there's a column shift towards the Allies, but there isn't because it's already at 6 to 1. Then we have the die roll modifiers. Fatigue steps greater than 50% is a -2 on the dice because the Germans are all fatigued there. Okay. Attacking from more than 3 hexes is another -1, so that's -3. No one's unsupplied. Across the bridge hex size, no. Into an urban hex, yes. So that's +2. Okay, both sides got armored and infantry, so they cancel out. So artillery support. The Germans could throw 4 points of their, they've got 4 air points remaining. So let's do that. The Allies could throw some support in, and they will do as well. So they're going to throw 14. There's no other real attacks coming in, is there? No, they're going to throw in 14 air support, and the Germans are going to throw in 4. Remember, low is good. So Germans does nothing. The Allied 14 with a 2 is 4 more column shifts. So the artillery in this part causes column shifts. That's -7. And there doesn't seem to be a upper or lower limit. So let me just check something. Yeah, I just had to double check for a moment there. The artillery do different things in different phases, and for a moment there I thought, hold on, it's a -4. Does that just make it a -1 because the defense of the terrain is 4? But no, it's not. That's directly modified. So it's 6 to 1 with a -7 on the dice. Wow. I suppose that's happens when you get fatigued and surrounded and all the rest of it, isn't it? Okay, well, that's the best result that they could have got. So that should take it out. That's D6 F4. Yeah, D6. The terrain, the D6 is divided by 4, but there's engineers that were in the attack divided by 3. So eventually that hex falls. So there is actually no need for the assault to go in. So that goes back in there. Goes back in there, and that comes off, and that goes in there. So chucking everything, including the kitchen sink, does help. Okay, so that's that assault. So moving across, now we have a combat down here. I did say I was going to, it was going to be an assault, wasn't it? So in they go. Let's move that off there. All right. So as they come in, that gun might as well fire. It's not going to do much else. So it's defensive fire support of 5. Those good. with a 4. That's a 2. Defense of that terrain is 2. So it does flip 1 unit. Then the German actually gets to fire. He's got a defense of 7 on the assault table. Modifiers, no armor involved. Nothing's fatigued. No, it's a straight. So low is good. Oh, the 1. That's 2 step losses. That is a disaster for the Airborne. Maybe they shouldn't have done that. Okay. Maybe I should have kept some air support. That was 2 steps plus the artillery. Okay. So the American fires back now with 3. Morale completely shagged. They do nothing. The Germans are rampant on this one. They're on the fire again. Morale is an 8. Oh, they can't. Ooh, lucky for the Airborne there. Does the Airborne get another shot? They do. Can they actually do anything? They don't. That was a unmitigated disaster. Yeah, don't do anything off the hoof. It doesn't work in this system. Okay. Any other allied combat moving along? Right, we do have some bombardment. Okay. We're going to bombard this hex here with 6 from that one. So I might as well mark with first fire. And there is actually, he can be marked now with final fire. And the unit above him can be marked with first fire. There we go. So that's 18 bombardment. That's it. 18. Those good. There's 3. That's 4 hits. Ooh. Defense of that terrain is only 2. That takes actually 2 hits. So it's gone. That was nasty. Nasty. Right. There's no ground attack going in, but because I didn't declare any. Am I declaring any ground attack here? No. Are we going to do any bombardment? Yes. So he's going to fire on the 6. What's the 6 going to do? 3. Might as well just fire into the woods. He'll fire into that hex there. So low is good. 10, not so good. No other combat there. So that's the Allied combat phase finished. We now go into their mech phase. Boom, 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 boom. Right, where's the mech? Okay, well, that's a lot to do here. Right, okay, so we've now got the supply route that we needed. It's now working out how we cross that canal. Okay, I've got a little issue with the rules, and I wonder if you guys can help me, because I've just looked on the errata, and I've just looked on Wargaming Geek to see if anyone's actually asked this question. But, okay, in maneuver combat, under the rules specifically, the unit adjacent can attack. And nowhere does it mention that units across the canals can't attack. It says any number of adjacent units may be used to attack a hex during maneuver combat. Nowhere does it say on the combat charts or it says movement's prohibited, but weapons from assuming each of these hexes and mark can still fire across. Does it say they're halved or anything like that? I've looked on the errata, I've looked on the Board Game Geek, and so, you know, some questions are getting asked. asked on there and getting answered 5 years later. So I can't wait 5 years. So I'm going to make an assumption that they can fire across, because otherwise I can't see how on earth they're meant to take that hex. Because if it's only assault combat or attacking from one hex to there, never going to happen. So I'm going to make that assumption. If any of you know and have reached this far in the video, please let me know in the comments if I'm doing that correctly, because it doesn't say that they can't. I mean, to cross the canal, you can only cross at a bridge, or you can be ferried across by engineers, such forth. But it doesn't say that you can't attack, because maneuver combat is representing suppressive fire and such forth. So keep their heads down. And a unit with a rifle here is just as effective doing that as they are there. That's my 2 pence worth. Let's say, and that's quite important for what I'm about to do now for the Allied. What you call it? Mech phase. Get there in the end. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do in the mech phase? Well, that didn't work, did it? So one, two, yeah, half movement rate. 1, 2, 3. Get that there. With that in mind, we don't need to get any tanks down here. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm not sure time historically that the Allies, I'm going to check that up after this episode. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't see any reason why they can't. Right, getting the engineer might be useful. They can ferry across non doohickeys, non-combat motorized units. They can't transport tanks across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, that's not allowed. Move them back. Zone of controls does extend across from there to there. It is bridged. Oh yeah. Okay, moving onwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm marking with a final fire because he did fire, I think. Right, so we've got quite a lot of these guys now. I think they're all combat motorized. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. I'll take the bridge with you. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're on their way, boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's as far as they get. And then this artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. These will be marked with final fire. 1, 2, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Riveting television. Watching me count out hexes. There we go. Aren't I kind? Delete that. Okay. Oh, and then you guy. Half, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5. Okay, so that's all of Guard Division 30th Corps. Motorized. I don't think the Allies have anything else really. So that's the end of the Allied motorized phase and make phase. Parts game turn marker. Okay, we are going into 19 AM. We don't know which side's got the initiative, but so we'll put it in there. And we set air points, which we'll do to 0. Okay, that ended that video. Let's pause this and move up to the top. Okay, so we seem to be on about the right time scale for the 30th Corps and their advance. We still got a problem with the canal coming up. So how to do that, as I mentioned, the questions there, it seems like there's no errata covering it. I don't know if it's bleeding obvious back in 1990 that the maneuver combat says all adjacent hexes, doesn't mention anything about terrain negating that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But obviously, the only units that catch the assault will be only able to crossing from the bridge hex. Yeah. Other than that, I'm learning the game as I'm going. I'm finding it quite interesting and challenging from both sides because now we don't know who's going to win the initiative in the AM turn. So it could be the Allies get 2 turns in a row or not. Two turns in a row, a flip flop. Hope you enjoyed that. As I say, I did. Let me know in the comments if you did. And also if you could like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It all helps the channel. But until next time, play games, have fun, buy internet,